So, what if AI could get smarter using your personal data, but without ever actually seeing it? Sounds impossible, right? Well, today we're diving into a really cool approach to AI that's making our tech way more helpful, all while keeping our private lives, well, private.
This is the big question, isn't it? It feels like a total paradox. We want our AI to be useful, to learn from our real-world experiences, but we definitely don't want it digging through our private messages, our photos, or our health records. So how in the world do we get all that learning without the creepy looking? For the longest time, this has been the fundamental problem. You've got two things in direct conflict. On one side, AI needs data, tons of it, to get smarter. The more examples it sees, the better it gets. But on the other side, you've got us and our right to privacy. The old way of doing things meant we had to create these giant, centralized databases full of our most sensitive info. And that's just a huge privacy risk. Basically a gold mine for hackers and a nightmare for anyone who cares about their personal space.
But what if we could get the best of both worlds? Well, that's where federated learning comes in. It's a simple, but honestly, brilliant idea. Instead of bringing all of our data to the AI model, we bring the model to our data. It's a collaborative approach that lets the AI get trained across tons of different devices, like our phones or computers in a hospital, without ever needing to move or copy the sensitive data itself.
Okay, the way this works is actually pretty cool. Think of the AI model like a student chef. A central server sends this student chef out to thousands of different kitchens, which are our personal devices. In each kitchen, the chef learns a little something, a new cooking technique, a cool spice combination. But here's the crucial part. The chef never ever takes the secret family recipe book. They only bring back the learnings, the new skills they picked up. Our data, that recipe book, stays securely in our kitchen, safe and sound.
So here's how that cycle actually plays out. First, a central server sends out a basic AI model to a bunch of devices. Then, each of those devices uses its own local data to train and improve that model. This is where the magic happens, right on your phone or your laptop. Next, and this is the key, the devices send back only the small anonymous updates to the model. These are the learnings, not your actual data. Finally, the server gathers up all these little updates, averages them out, and creates a new, much smarter global model. And this cycle just keeps repeating, making the AI better and better with every round, all while your data stays exactly where it is.
So what's the real difference here? Well, with the old school centralized AI, all your data has to be shipped off to a central server, which, means privacy is pretty low. It's just a massive one-time data dump. But with federated AI, your data stays on your device, which gives you a super high degree of privacy. The communication isn't about sending your personal info, it's just about sending frequent, small model updates. This is a complete game changer in how we think about building intelligent systems. And this isn't just a concept, it's already being used out in the real world. Let's take transportation. You could have a whole fleet of self-driving cars learning from each other's driving experiences, like how to handle a really tricky intersection, without any single car ever having to share its sensitive video or location data.
Or think about the industrial world. In smart manufacturing, different factories can work together to improve their production lines or predict when a machine might fail. They can build this shared intelligence without any one company having to reveal its secret sauce to its competitors.
But honestly, maybe the most powerful place we're seeing this is in medicine. Imagine hospitals all around the globe working together to train a diagnostic AI, say one that's amazing at spotting cancer in medical scans. Each hospital can train the model on its own patient data, but because of super strict privacy laws, that data can never leave the hospital. With federated learning, they can all collaborate to build an incredibly accurate tool without ever compromising a single patient's confidentiality. It's incredible.
And again, this is not just a what if, it's literally saving lives. During the COVID-19 pandemic, 20 different institutions did exactly this. They worked together to build an AI that could predict how much oxygen a patient would need. This global teamwork, made possible by federated learning, had a real, tangible impact, all while keeping patient data completely secure.
And it goes on. In robotics, you could have machines in totally different environments, one in a warehouse, one in a home, sharing what they've learned about getting around. This helps the whole network of robots adapt to new situations way faster than any single robot could on its own. The potential is just massive.
Now, as amazing and promising as all this sounds, I have to be honest, federated learning isn't a perfect magic solution, at least not yet. It's a field that's moving super fast, but there are still some pretty significant challenges we need to figure out before it can be used everywhere.
On the technical side of things, you need pretty good bandwidth for all those constant model updates. And, trying to handle messy, inconsistent data coming from millions of different devices is a huge headache. Security is another big one. We have to make sure bad actors can't sneak malicious code into those model updates. And then there are the people problems, the governance questions. If a bunch of companies work together, who actually owns the final AI model? And how do you make sure that everyone who pitches in gets something fair in return? These are the tough problems that researchers are working on right now.
So what we're left with is this really exciting vision for the future. Federated Learning gives us a blueprint where we can all collaborate on a massive scale to solve some of the world's biggest problems, but without having to give up our individual privacy. It makes you wonder, right? What's the next great challenge, whether it's in climate science or finance or education, that we can finally solve by learning together separately? That's the future this technology is starting to unlock. Thanks for tuning in.